This has been a much requested video from all of you guys, and thank you for all the comments of all the managers you've been putting in. But today's video is about Roberto De Zerbi. I've found 3 of the best De Zerbi tactics out there on the market today. 2 of them come from creators that you will know and you will love, and the third one, as per usual, comes from the mind of everyone's favorite AI, that is Chatgpt. Let's see which one does the best and which one is a bit of a flop. You're in for a massive surprise in this video. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel. But now let's get into those 3 balling tactics. First up, we have a fan favorite of a tactic here, and it is RDF. He makes some unbelievable tactics, some absolute bangers. And for this one, he has many Roberto De Zerbi tactics in the downloads folder, and I'll put the link to the description for all the tactics in the description of this video as well. But this one, I've taken it's called my real take, so I've taken it as the one that perhaps he thinks is the best. I mean, I'm just assuming here, so RDF, no offense if you don't like this tactical simulation. It's not meant to be offensive, to put it out there. He is actually one of my heroes. Before I blabber on too much about how much I love RDF, let's get into his actual tactic. It is a sweeper keeper on attack. It's 1 fullback on support with cross from the byline and sit narrower. A fullback on attack would take more risks and cross from the byline. A ball playing defender on defend with pass it short and dribble less on both sides of the centre backs. 2 holding midfield players, DMs, pass it shorter, hold position, tackle harder, pass it shorter and tackle harder. An inverted winger on attack on the left hand side with hold the ball up and tackle harder. 1 AM on attack with dribble more, shoot more often, move into the channels and tackle harder. Inside forward on support with hold the ball up and tackle harder. 1 deep line forward on tackle harder. It is a positive tactic, fairly wide as you can see. Play out of the defence. Both sides are being played out to. Short passing, standard tempo, dribble less. Low crosses. We know low crosses are very overpowered this year. Counter press, counter, take short kicks. Missing the distribute quickly, but hey, that is pretty much overpowered in the transitional phase. As you can see, probably if you've got slow defenders, you might want to drop the line back. I say it every single time, but you're probably bored of me saying that, but here we are anyway. Trigger the press much more often, prevent short goal distribution, get stuck in, and step up more. All of these tactics tests have been done with Olympique Marseille, as it is Roberto De Zerbi's new club. So I wanted to see how he got on with this tactic and how these tactics would apply to his style of play at Marseille. We all know De Zerbi plays attractive football, possession-based. It is pressing. It is overpowers. It is, honestly, I love the way De Zerbi plays as a neutral. These tactics do replicate that, and I'm going to show you the RDF ball, the type of goals that you score with this. It is the French Cup final in this game, which we won 3-2 with the RDF tactic. As you can see there, Luis Enrique passing the ball into Amin Harit, who just taps it home. And then Harit, again, set plays are very good from this tactic. Just nearly doesn't score, so tap in there. The boys are alert. And they turned this game around. They were 2-0 down in this game, but set plays played a big part. And as you can see, 3-2 was the win. Competition-wise, this tactic did very, very well in my humble opinion. It won the French Cup, as you just saw with that win against Lille in the final, coming from behind as well. 2-0 down to come back 3-2. Great tactic to bring it back. Quarterfinals of the Champions League as well. That's very impressive for Marseille. Didn't do that in real life. Finishing 5th in the league, well, it's European football. I mean, they would have hoped for Champions League, but to be honest with you, a trophy, a UEFA Champions League run, and finishing well in Ligue 1 is more than you can hope for. In terms of the squad, it wasn't really as high scoring as I expected it to be. Aubameyang getting 14. Harit got 12. Same with Luis Enrique. Kondogbia with 8 as well. It's a great tactic. Go out and try it. I think this is a solid start to replicating De Zerbi style. Next up is a tactic by Themaiden83 that I found on FM Scout. And I feel like it represents De Zerbi's 4-2-3-1 very, very well. Sweeper keeper on support, the role you would have seen Bart Verbruggen play and Jason Still play at his time at Brighton. You've got a wing back on support with a lot of options on there. I'll just pause it there because there's so many. There's like tackle harder, run with the ball, etc. Wing back attack on the other side. Central defender on cover with take fewer risks, close down less and tackle harder. And same with the central defender on defense. So 1 cover, 1 defend at the back. An anchor in holding midfielder on tackled harder, and then a deep line playmaker in the DM position with dribble less, close down more, and tackle harder. And inside forward on support to come into the space here. Sit narrower, tackle harder, mark specific position. AM on more direct passing, take more risks, roam from position, move into the channels and tackle harder. And then on the right hand side, we have an inverted winger sit narrower, tackle harder, mark specific position, and is on attack. Finishing it off with an advanced forward, that Evan Ferguson, João Pedro role up front. It's an attacking formation. We know De Zerbi loves to play attacking football. We saw that at Brighton a lot, and I'm sure we'll see it a lot at Olympique Marseille as well. Fairly wide. Play out the defence for overlap on the left, work the ball into the box, mix crosses, short passing, slightly higher tempo, be more expressive. In the transitional phase, it is counter press, counter, distribute centre backs, take short kicks. Out of possession, it's a very mid-block, high defensive line, trigger the press much more often, and stop the crosses. Now, this is a very good representation of Roberto De Zerbi. In terms of how the squad performed with this, they did very, very well. As you can see, there's a lot of goals here from Ndiaye, from Aubameyang, from Amin Harit. A lot of assists going off as well. Before I show you what type of ball we play with it, I'm going to show you how we did in the competitions with this tactic. Knocked out in the group stage and knocked out in the UEFA Europa League. Knocked out in the French Cup 9th round and managed to finish second in the league just behind PSG, 71 points. They had 93. PSG are a bit of an unstoppable beast. But what I like about this tactic is the goals that you score with it. Some very nice goals against a team whose name I can't say without getting banned on YouTube. It was a great play from Vertu out on the wing. As you see, Garcia picks the ball up, turns, flips the ball in and scores an absolute banger. That was more of a pinball goal. But these are the type of goals that you score. You will score some beautiful looking goals. And for me, that was one of them. Luis Enrique playing it into Garcia. Garcia out on the wing. Garcia just finds Enrique in space. It's that beautiful pattern inside the box. There's so many good goals in this tactic. Last and by no means least is the Chatgpt tactic. Now, we know Chatgpt has had some good tactics in the videos that we have done so far, and it holds its own. It does create some very similar tactics, as you will notice with this one as well. It's a sweeper keeper on support with no further instructions. It loves a bit of tackle harder. It must know, it must listen to me and say that tackle harder is very overpowered this year. 2 ball playing centre backs at the back, 1 fullback on support. Now, either way, this doesn't really matter. But if you are going to swap them around, make sure you swap the winger and the inside forward around as well, I would say. A deep line playmaker on defend, tackle harder, and then a box-to-box midfield player on tackle harder. All of these players here have tackle harder on them, inside forward on attack, an AM on attack, winger on support, advanced forward on attack as well. In possession is a positive tactic. It said you could play positive or attacking. I tested the positive one because I'm quite a cautious person. So I thought, hey, we'll go for the more positive approach. But attacking will work just as well, in my humble opinion. Play out defense, focus through the middle, mix crosses, work into the box, short passing, higher tempo, be more expressive. In the transitional phase is counter press, distribute quickly and take short kicks. Out of possession, we're talking about a higher defensive line and a higher line of engagement, trigger press much more often, prevent short goalkeeper distribution and get stuck in. Now we take a look at the squad and how many goals they got. It was a very low scoring tactic, this one, I have to say. Only 12 goals for Aubameyang, 11 for Correa, 10 for Iliman and Ndiaye, but they are sort of put around the team with low scoring numbers of goals. In terms of competitions, lost in the semi-final, knocked out in the group stage and managed to finish second in the league. So a very similar situation as what we saw with the previous tactic by Themaiden83. RDF's tactic is the only one that won Marseille a trophy, won the French Cup. So I have to say on this occasion, RDF wins this one by unanimous decision. I would use his tactic if you want to replicate De Zerbi. The other two are perfectly fine. There is nothing wrong with them. And if you're playing and not doing holiday sims, it might be something you get the better out of. In my humble opinion, I feel like all of these tactics are absolutely great. If you want to see another manager, let me know in the comments below which manager you want to see next. Or if you yourself have a tactic that you want me to test out, please do email it in to me and I will test it out and show it off on the channel. And if not, I'll see you on another video.